Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're all doing well. It's the start of the Premier League weekend and it's a trip to Nottingham for Liverpool as they take on Nottingham Forest at the City Ground with a lot of injury problems for Liverpool. So it's going to be an interesting game. You'd fancy Liverpool to win, but maybe there's an opportunity there for Nottingham Forest, who've been terminally crap this season, let's be honest. Brighton, I don't know how Brighton didn't beat them on, was it Monday Night Football? I mean, literally, I looked at it with about 70 minutes gone. I don't think Forest had had a shot at all, and Brighton had about 30. So, yeah, it should be straightforward for Liverpool, even with the injuries that they have. But it's the start of a big day. Looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm going to be on the United stand for the big game of the day. Manchester United trip to Stamford Bridge at 5:30. We'll be live on the United stand for that. And then at 8 o'clock, I'm on Talk Sport with the call-in. So looking forward to, reacting, hopefully, to a Manchester United win. That's my hope. Scooby-Doo, says Justin. So let's go through the two teams. You may have seen them coming in. We'll start off with the home team. It's Nottingham Forest. Yeah, you'll see on the stats carousel next to me, it's whizzing around. But you can see there that it is Dean Henderson in goal, Aurier, Cook, McKenna and Williams, Yates, Freuler and Kouyaté, Gibbs-White, Awoniyi and Lingard are the front three there. That team changes all the time. I don't know. And then you've got Liverpool, more interesting. Alisson, Milner, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Elliott, Fabinho and Jones, Salah, Firmino and Carvalho. It's a very, very weakened Liverpool side because of just the pure volume of injuries they've got. If you look at Forest's bench, you may even say it's stronger with the likes of Brennan Johnson, Dennis, Loddy. Liverpool's bench has got the likes of Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Trent on there, but not a lot of attacking talent for them. They've been really, really hit by the injuries, haven't they? So interesting. Taylor says Forest kit looks like a creator club on FIFA. Yeah, well, we're just about to start here. We're only 3 minutes away. I'm looking forward to it. Big games. Just to let you know what's coming up on the weekends. I know I didn't really get a chance to talk to you in the week. I've been quite busy this week doing some stuff that will come out just before the World Cup, actually, filming an advert. I've sort of fused The Office with That's Football. It's quite good. I've not seen the final cut, but obviously I've done the filming. I'm quite looking forward to that coming out. But I've not really had that much time to talk about much, apart from I did the video on the Super League, of course. But this weekend's action, That's Football, watch-alongs. Obviously we've got this one here, Liverpool's trip to Forest. This afternoon I'm on the United stand for Chelsea, Manchester United. Then tomorrow at 2 o'clock I'm doing Southampton versus Arsenal on this channel. And I'm considering doing Spurs Newcastle. I'll just see how I feel. I just don't know. I think Spurs are such a hard watch. Spurs Newcastle should be a good watch along, but I just don't know whether I'm going to do it. I might just watch a Harry Potter film instead. It'd be interesting. But look, if we look at the league table, I think at some point we've got to get to a point where Forest have spent so much money. They're on the bottom of the league. They are actually only 3 points from safety, so they've still got a big opportunity to sort of work their way out of that. Bottom of the league. Maybe today is the day where they do something. But Liverpool, a win for them today would take them up to 6th, joint with Manchester United. With Manchester United obviously playing at Chelsea, so Liverpool's bad start to the season could have them knocking on the door of top 4 tonight. So big incentive for Liverpool, and obviously both teams have a run of fixtures to come that could work in their favour. Liverpool, after today, just before the World Cup, Liverpool will play Leeds next week. Then they've got Tottenham, and then they've got Southampton before the break. So 2 home games and an away game against Spurs. So an opportunity for Liverpool to pick up some more points there. And then Forest's next few games, they need to pick up points. Not looking good for them, actually. They've got Liverpool today. Then they've got Arsenal next week at the Emirates. Then they've got Brentford at home, and then they've got Crystal Palace before the break for the international break. So hard to see where their next 3 points are coming from. They'd probably be looking at the Brentford and Palace games But they need to start picking up. Rio defending Ronaldo situation, absolutely bizarre, says Josh. If somebody tells me what he said, I'll react to it and where he said it. I can't react to something that's speculative. I'd love to hear your opinion on Brian Clough. Is he the greatest English manager to never manage England, says East Den. And Mark, do you think there's a chance Ronaldo goes to a Premier League club? I think there's no chance of that, Samuel. In relation to Brian Clough, I think Roy Keane said that it's the greatest manager he's ever played for. I know he fell out with Sir Alex Ferguson, but I don't think it's completely bitter. Brian Clough was a fantastic manager. One of the best football films I've ever seen is The Damned United. The time has just started there, by the way. We've started the game. It was The Damned United. I grew up in sort of the late 80s, early 90s, consuming football, and it was Liverpool that dominated in the late 80s. And then it sort of went through Arsenal, and then Man United, obviously, into the early 90s. But Brian Clough's Forest team in the late 80s was a good footballing side. But it's what he did before I was really born. Really, he won 2 European Cups back to back at Forest, and he won the league with Derby County. So very, very, very good game. Notts Forest, are you trying to get yourself killed? Yeah, that's not how it should be written, is it? I didn't set the title up. I've just seen that. Thank you very much, Ross. They don't like to be called Notts Forest at all. It's not what they like to be called. It's Notts County. It's not Notts Forest. They hate it. So out of respect, we should probably change that. Thanks for. I mean, we've even put it right in the description. Let's get that changed. Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that. Yeah, he's a good manager though, Brian Clough. I don't know what Rio said, so I can't really react to it. If someone's got any direct quotes, we can talk about that. But Dean Henderson's got his cap on. Is he going to be the Pratt in the hat, or is he going to be Super Dean today? We'll have to wait and see. I think there's a vulnerability to Liverpool. Yeah, certainly there's a vulnerability. We'll have to see. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 800k. Professor Bridge. I've got a bit of a headache, actually. A nice ball into Salah there. Quite a competitive start here. You know, Forest will know they've got to start off energetic against the Liverpool side that does have some vulnerability, but they are bottom of the league. Brighton winning the league, says Blue Ninja. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Why is the goalkeeper wearing a cap? Because it's Dean Henderson. He always wears a cap. Mark Forest are definitely going down, says Tactical. I think they probably should go down. Their start to the season is horrific, but they're still only 3 points from safety. There's still an opportunity there to turn it around, I suppose. Just sent you the video on Twitter. How have you done that? Okay, I'll have a look. The thing about Rio is he'll want the interview. He'll want the interview with Ronaldo. That's what he'll want. So, you know, I'm not knocking him for that. Any news on Van der Sar, says Samuel? I've got no news on that. We're currently 200 away from 795,000 on subscribers. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved. Thank you for that. So we are currently just 4 minutes in, just approaching 4 minutes in here. Forest have started off quite well. Liverpool having to battle here. It's very high intensity at the start of this game, and I think Forest are going to have to do that for a lot of this game if they want to get something out of it. And an early foul by Curtis Jones there. I mean, that midfield of Liverpool, it's not great, is it? Let's be honest. Curtis Jones and is it Harvey Elliott with Fabinho. Thiago obviously not fit. Henderson on the bench. And then their front three, Firmino, Salah and Carvalho. So that it's very far from being Liverpool's best 11, really. But it's an early chance for Forest to whip a free kick into the box here. I mean, one thing they can say is that Van Dijk and Gomez played fantastically well against Man City, and good header away there from Van Dijk. Their Firmino hat-trick. Well, Firmino's been fantastic for Liverpool this season. He really has. Very, very clinical. I don't know why Trent's not in the team. It's one of the first only games of his career where he'll play next to a river that's got his same name, because the Forest ground is right next to the River Trent, and Trent's on the bench. Nunez is injured yet. Thiago's got an ear infection, says YNWA. Nice ball into the channel there. Firmino's got it. He does put a cross in, but that's probably not going to be their best way to attack Forest today, because they've got a couple of centre-backs who are reasonably good in the air, and I don't think that's going to be a lot of joy for Liverpool today. I think they're going to need to keep the ball on the ground. Erwin think it could be a draw. Fitness for Ajax is why Trent ain't playing, says Sword. Of course, Champions League's back midweek, isn't it? Do I think Felix will join Man United, says Lawrence? I don't know where that money's coming from, mate. Score prediction from me, I think Liverpool will win it 2-0. Same result as United against Chelsea tonight to United. Who do I think should be the next Exeter City manager, says Aaron? I've got no idea, mate. I tell you who I think should be the next Villa manager. I think they've got to go all out and try and get Pochettino. Whether Villa can do something like that, I don't know. I think Villa must be gutted, because Potter would have been their next manager. Convinced he would have been their next manager, but obviously Chelsea snapped him up. Long ball forward there. Liverpool pick it up. Good tackle. Poch is past it, says David, which is exactly why I think Villa would be a good job for Poch. If he goes to Villa and does well, it shows that he's still a very good coach. You go to PSG, all you can do is win the Champions League, and if you don't, you're going to get sacked. If you go to somewhere like Villa and you do well and you rebuild that club, you show that you're still a good coach. I don't think Salah's going to retire at Liverpool, Lorenzo. I think he's going to leave in the summer, isn't he? Nice ball forward by Fabinho. Salah rolls it. Oh, no weight on the pass. When's the next going for Goldbridge, mate? And I'm ready to do it. I just need the time to do it, mate. Yeah. Actually, you can help me with something in a minute. I need a bit of help. I'm sort of working on a podcast idea at the moment, a football podcast. Might not be a football podcast, but a football podcast. And I basically want to break it in. I'm not going to give too much away about what it's going to be like, but I do want to sort of make it community-based podcast. I want it to be something that people enjoy watching or listening to. And I quite like the idea of having sort of segments to it. I don't know whether anyone remembers Noel's House Party from years ago. It was a Saturday night show with loads of different areas, loads of different things going on. They used to do a little bit like, there was a Grab a Grand, there was, what else was there? There was the Gunk Tank, there was, setting up a celebrity, and, there's all sorts of stuff. And I don't want to do all those things, but I'd like to do a podcast that, good save by Henderson, bit of a chance there for Caballo. I think he was stretching anyway. So yeah, I think that I would like to get some ideas on little sections you would like to have in a weekly podcast. So let me know. Obviously, a quiz is always easy to do, but I'm trying to think of some sections. It was a lovely ball over the top there by Liverpool, and Carvalho probably should have done a bit better. Dean Henderson made a reasonably good save there. Stays 0-0. What? Ben Foster already does a podcast, mate. Thoughts on the Greenwood charge, says RJ. I've got no thoughts on it. My only observation on it is that it's been going on for 9 months as a police investigation, and they obviously feel they've got the evidence to charge him. I don't know what the evidence is. Theon says, have you seen the Rio video? I haven't. I really wish I could see some quotes on it, because I mean, I think it's the perfect sort of place to react to it. But I'm just having a look around to see if I can find it anywhere. I can't really... I'm surprised there's no quotes. Corner to Liverpool here. Milner's on it. Whips it in. Up in the air and wide by Firmino. Henderson looked quite comfortable with that. I thought it was potentially a good chance, but no. Yeah, always going wide. I think Henderson had plenty of time to see that header was always going right wide. Good attempt by Firmino, but no power or direction enough to cause a problem. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook and the DJ revolves it. Ice, baby. Liverpool are starting to push here, back into the box again. So a bright start from Forest in the first 4 minutes, getting some tackles in. But second half, last 5 minutes or so, this has started to drift in the direction of Liverpool, which is what we would expect to happen. Now they're on the break though. 3v3. Where's he going to pass it? Gibbs-White goes for Lingard. Terrible first touch. Van Dijk clears it. There was a chance on the break for Forest there, and they need to be doing better on the break there. Much better on the break. Come back to what you know. We've got the right team colours now. Villa would be a downgrade for Potter, for sure, says KD. Well, it would be now, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm going to do Southampton-Arsenal tomorrow. Yes, Matthew Emerson. Looking forward to the games today. We've got some good games. Really good games. United-Chelsea, obviously. Tomorrow we've got Southampton-Arsenal. Mark, do you get cheesed off with people who use your name and video to make channel? Glazers out, says Paul D. I think me and the clips. Not really. I mean, it'd be so easy to make a lot of money by going shut down every clip of me that people haven't asked for. It would be very, very easy. But I'm just not that person. I think that's very, very arrogant to be like that. At the end of the day, it's not like I'm putting those clips out. I mean, some of them are very funny as well. Apparently TikTok, which I don't go on, is awash with them. People even take my commentary and clip it up with footage of the goals, which I think's ingenious, which it's actually illegal as well. Did you know you actually cannot even take a screenshot of Premier League footage and draw on it? Some people on YouTube seem to think you can. You're going to get shut down eventually. Big channels do it. They think it's legal to screenshot Premier League footage and sit there with their little yellow pens going, like some shitty fucking analysis, going, this is what this is. You're going to get shut down. It's illegal. You can't do it. But a lot of people do. A lot of people on TikTok do these actual goal footage with my commentary. And, I would never be allowed to do it. It's illegal to do it. They seem to get away with it. But... So no, in short, I don't really care about people clipping it up because at the end of the day, it's not like I'm doing it. And I think it's a bit of an egotistical thing to say, we're not using our content. Just pre-ordered the new Christmas jumper, Mark, says Jacob. Yep, they're flying. They're flying. What do you think about Michael Carrick managing Middlesbrough, says Stephen? Has he taken the job? Don't know. Soham says, quick point about Ronaldo. He was unprofessional. He was punished. But sad to see legend of the game getting so much hate before and after the incident. And thank you very much for the super chats there. Bit of a stop-start game this at the moment. I spoke to the Premier League about it. I said, look, it would be great on the United stand to be able to just, take a screenshot of the game at the weekend and just talk about what happens next and maybe draw a yellow line and that. And they said, absolutely not. If you do that, then... and we see it, we will take you down. So anybody who's doing it, do it at your peril. You might get away with it for a week. You might get away with it for a few months. But eventually, all your hard work will be taken down. Especially if you've done it more than once. Bloody hell. It's going better for Forest than I thought it would, says Threefold Path. They're doing okay. They're doing okay. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's bottom of the league against Liverpool, isn't it? It's a packed out stadium, and whilst it's 0-0, you've got a chance, and you dare to dream. I think the interesting thing will be if Liverpool manage to score, how do they react to it? But they got a 0-0 against Brighton. Can they build on that? I'm just trying to... Apparently Rio Ferdinand's been on BT. I'm just trying to sort of grab a quote and read it to you. Rio found that Ferdinand defends Ronaldo and blames Erik ten Hag for the lack of communication. He defends his mate Ronaldo as he blames ten Hag for the lack of communication and claims the Man United striker should be treated differently as a special player after he refused to play against Tottenham. I'm looking for the right quotes here. Rio Ferdinand has defended his friend Cristiano Ronaldo after the striker was kicked out of Man United's first team, refusing to come on. Okay, where's the direct quote? Erik ten Hag. There is always another side. When you're dealing with Cristiano Ronaldo, he is Ronaldo. The way to treat it is different from all others. Communication, that's probably the first time in his life that a manager doesn't confirm it. I'm not saying it was right, but sometimes there are special players on a team for who things work differently. It's important for the team to see that he communicates with him. He's 37-year-old. He probably needs him more than ever. I'm getting ready to play, let me know. It's disrespectful to bring me against Man City for a few minutes. Expect this to happen before it happens. With the way it played out, you can see how a player can react, he continued. Look, at the end of the day, as I said, look, I'll be absolutely honest. I'm a massive fan of Ronaldo. I think Rio Ferdinand just wants the interview. That's what his career's all about now, isn't it? It's all about hype, isn't it? He wants bloody Van der Beek and everyone sat talking to him. You can understand why he wants that. He's carving a career out as a YouTuber. But ultimately, I think it's very irresponsible, especially as a player that's played for Manchester United, played for Sir Alex Ferguson. Look, I love Ronaldo, and I've absolutely come out and said he's completely unacceptable what he's done. There is no excuse. There is no communication issue. You are a footballer. You are a human being, footballer. All right, you're one of the greatest footballers that's ever played, but you're playing for Manchester United. You don't refuse to come on and walk down the thing. There is no excuse. I'm sorry, Rio, and I'm sorry, Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo. He will be a legend for Manchester United, and I sort of hope he still plays for United, but I think it's best for everybody if he goes. But there is no excuse of communication or whatever. He should not have done that. He should not have done that. Absolutely not done that. There's no communication issue there. The manager is the manager, and we are Manchester United. We are not the YouTube All-Stars. You know, Ronaldo's not doing us a favour coming to play in a charity match. He's being paid £500,000 a week, and the manager has to manage. And I will say it, this guy is 100% right. And I'm not talking about Mark Goldbridge, I'm talking about Erik ten Hag. He's 100% right to do whatever he wants as the manager, because if he gets it wrong, he will get sacked. Forest on the attack. This could be a chance. Ooh, straight to Alisson from the edge of the box by Kouyaté. But I expected all this. I mean, we've not heard from Roy Keane yet. I don't know whether Roy Keane's on Sky over the weekend. He will come out and probably defend Ronaldo as well. It's a mate. It's a mate. And we saw exactly the same thing with Solskjaer, with people like Gary Neville and everybody else. They defend their mates because they've been to war with those mates on the football pitch. You can understand that. There's a code of conduct. It's loyalty. It's them against us. There's no way Rio Ferdinand is going to come out and say Ronaldo was bang out of order and he should be kicked out of the club. Hi Mark, thoughts on Women's World Cup draw for England? Hope Sam gets Golden Boot too. Says best average gaming. I don't really watch a lot of women's football. My daughter plays it, and that's about the limit of my interest. Really, I don't really watch it. I watched the Euros final when they won. It was nice. It was fantastic, but it's not really. I don't have to watch it because everyone says watch it. I don't watch rugby. Liverpool had another half chance there, but 20 minutes in, 0-0, corner to Liverpool. Nearly 10,000 people watching. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. We're only 100 away from 795 on the road to 800. Oh, free header for Van Dijk, but he missed it. Forest clear it. Remember, we're going to be doing every World Cup game as a watch-along this November, and hopefully we've got some really exciting stuff to come for you. I just think, in relation to Ronaldo, I knew we'd talk about it. This is not the United stands. I get really pissed off with bias as well. I mean, at 5:30 tonight, I will be biased. I want United to win and the referee's getting it, and I'll have the red tinted glasses on. But you don't need your red tinted glasses on for 7 days a week. Like, I've seen some horrific takes on the combined Chelsea Man United 11. I mean, I put Mount in over Bruno, and people are going, it's got to be Bruno, it's got to be Bruno. And I'm like, I've watched Bruno this season. Absolutely bang average. He has one good game against Spurs, and we want him in a combined 11. Mount's had a better season. And how can you put Bruno in the team and then not put Kepa in the team? Kepa's had 1 or 2 brilliant games for Chelsea. No fucking way is Kepa going in ahead of De Gea. So it's just this bias. People see through bias these days. They see through bias. They see through flip flops. People don't realise they say one thing and then they do the other. It's like all these Arsenal fans who, they love Arteta now. Some of them were printing T-shirts trying to get him out of the job. How do you ever come back from that, by the way? How do you come back from printing fucking T-shirts about Arteta out and then sit there giving it the big one about how good Arteta is? I mean, God, what sort of comedy character are you? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how people just don't even have the balls to stick by what they said. I went Van Gaal out 6 months before he got the sack. He missed out on top 4 on goal difference and won the FA Cup. He easily could have kept his job, and I would have stayed Van Gaal out, because that's when you make a decision about being a manager out, you should not be changing that, because it's such a big thing to say you want someone to lose their job. You missed my super chat, mate, says N8. No, I didn't. I definitely remember reading it. I'm not biased on my combined 11s, Owen. Check out my Chelsea one. Check out my Spurs one. I had Basuma in the midfield. How can I be biased? I haven't put Eriksen in. How can it be biased? Get a job. But the point I'm trying to make is that, with the Ronaldo thing, one of my favourite players ever to play the game, but there's just no excuse for Thursday night. You just can't do that. You can't do that. It's just not. It's not right. And it doesn't matter whether it's Mo Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Neymar. You cannot walk off the pitch and refuse to come on. It's the wrong message, especially when most footballers spend most of their life, when they're not on the pitch, telling everybody how great they are. Buy this, buy that. I'm sponsored by this. I'm sponsored by that. You can't earn loads of money off the pitch with brand related things and then send a bad message out of petulance like that. I understand the petulance, by the way. I've got to say, I got sent off when I was 14 and I threw my boots at my manager because he said you deserved it. Now that would probably have me kicked out of the club as a professional. So, when David Beckham kicked out at Simeone, I applauded it, even though he got sent off. So I'm very petulant on a football pitch, but I'm not a professional footballer, and I'm not. So I understand it, but I can't accept it. I can't accept it. It's wrong. I completely understand the petulance because I have that personality, but it doesn't mean it's right, does it? Forest are doing all right here. 23 minutes gone. They're on the attack again. Nathan Allen says, I feel Gomez needs to go. His ball distribution isn't good enough for how we play. Lost the ball a lot this game, says Nathan. Well, he played very well defensively against Man City. I think Gomez is a good player in a team that's got to defend. But in a Liverpool side, you're probably quite right, Nathan. You may not. Your ideal scenario is that you don't do a lot of defending. It's that you do a lot of attacking. And therefore, his ball distribution probably does need to be a bit better. Do you think Arsenal can finish second, Mark? Says Vuel. I think right now they're the second best team in. Well, they're the first. Technically, they're the first best team in England, aren't they? So I would say that Man City and Arsenal are the two. Yeah, good defending by Forest again here. Liverpool been a bit disappointing, I've got to be honest. They're not really causing enough issues, and I do think that if they were to concede the first goal, there'd be in a bit of bother. Another shot there, straight to Alisson. Would you take Tony at Man United, Mark, says Ashton? Well, open it out. Would Chelsea take Tony? Would Arsenal take Tony? Would Liverpool take Tony? Would Spurs take Tony? I think it's more than a Man United option. I think there'd be a few clubs looking at him and going, is he worth taking a look at? For me, I think United should go for Gakpo because I think he's got a few more strings to his bow in the fact that he can play a number of positions. But Dean Henderson, it's a lot of long balls for Forest, I was looking at the stats a few weeks ago. He hits a lot of long balls. I don't think it's down to him. I just think it's the way Forest play. Jimmy says, I think Tony would be a bench player at all them teams. Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's an option. He's an option forward, isn't he? Could be a starter for Chelsea, says Valtra. Bradley thinks Forest are going to win today, and Nathan says, I feel our squad depth is really bad. Like, we have 2 injuries and we have a bunch of kids on the bench. The owners need to go do work in January. Hi Mark, Chelsea supporter. How handsome does Potter look since moving to Chelsea? Went from gym teacher to Andrew Tate overnight, says Matthew Wilson. And who from Liverpool would you take at United, says Ifan? Well, I mean, a whole host of players, to be honest. Robertson is better than our left-backs. I wouldn't mind Trent, to be honest, because we do need a right-back. He can battle it out with Delo. Not saying he'd bench Delo, but he can battle it out with Delo. I wouldn't mind Matip or Konate or Van Dijk as another centre-back option. I wouldn't mind Thiago, Fabinho, Salah, Diaz. I'd take Nunez as well. I'd take a lot of Liverpool players, to be honest. I take a lot. And I do think Nunez, Alisson as well. Yeah, Alisson's a very good team. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that Liverpool team. I just think they've got a few injury problems at the moment. And as Nathan said, I don't think they invest enough in their team. And I think Klopp must get very frustrated because, most teams are investing more than Chelsea. I mean, if Liverpool were to win today, it's 3 wins in a row, isn't it? Since the loss to Arsenal. Can Liverpool make top 4, says Gabby? I think the only thing that's going to stop Liverpool getting top 4 is their injury problems. I mean, let's be honest, they've got Nunez, Diaz, Thiago out today, as well as Jota. That's 4 very important players. Matip as well. I think Konate's injured. Yeah, they've got a lot of players out. What about iSpeed, says iFan. What about him? Good win. Farming Life says, what about Leicester getting relegated? I mean, I didn't even realise that Leicester had beaten Leeds on Thursday night. I mean, I noticed the Fulham win over Villa because it obviously got Gerrard sacked. But I didn't actually realise they were playing offside. Half an hour gone. How's FIFA coming along, Mark? Says Martin. I tell you what, I think I'm finally getting into the groove. If you watched yesterday's stream, I think I'm finally getting in the groove. Interesting topic, Mark. What frustrates you the most on a football pitch? For me, it's lack of set piece prep from throw-ins. It's a skin 7. I still think that this is good build-up play by Liverpool. No. I still think the most frustrating thing on a football pitch for me is the refereeing. Oh, here we go. Could be a one-on-one chance here. They've got a 2v3. Lingard. Good shot. No, it wasn't. Straight at the keeper again. They've had shots, Forest, but they've all been straight at the keeper. They'll be growing in confidence. Liverpool just can't really carve anything open here. Having to make changes. West Ham were very lucky against Liverpool as well. Midweek. What's your prediction for Chelsea versus Manchester United? And I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to go with the United win because I don't think we'll concede. And I think that that's obviously at least a drawing point. There's a foul on Milner here. Or is it... I don't know what's going on here. That's a foul. Salah's in the box. No. I think he's going to book Salah. Or is he going to go back for a foul on Milner? I don't know what the referee's on about here. We're 50 subscribers away from 795,000, bottom right-hand corner. I don't know. Has he given a penalty here? Or is he giving the foul on Milner? It's not a penalty for me. I mean, Salah's acting like he's hurt his back. It's minimal contact. What's your favourite Indian curry, says Man Me? I like a chicken tikka masala. No. Oh, Salah seems to have hurt his lower back. Come to Malta Mark, says Gian. And hi Mark, if you had to choose between the 3 options for these 3 managers, Potter, Ten Hag and Arteta, one night... Oh no, I'm not doing that, Matthew Wilson. One night stand, marry and kill. No. Do I look like somebody that wants to have a one night stand with Graham Potter or Eric Ten Hag or whoever else you've listed there? What a silly question. Everyone's saying yes, you do now. Well, you're wrong. He's not given a penalty because it wasn't a penalty, Connor. That was not a penalty. Come on, Liverpool fans. That was never a penalty. Looking forward to Potter schooling Eric later. What will your prediction be for the game? And are you doing any games later, says Nathan? I am doing that watch along later. So it's a free kick to Liverpool for the foul on Milner. Salah's just taking a bit of treatment on the side. Milner dinks the cross in. Not a very good one. Forest will clear it. Joe Gomez whips another cross in. I don't think they're going to get much joy, Liverpool, by whipping crosses into the box, to be honest. Mark, what other games do you play on PS5s? I don't get time, really, Tumbleweed. I play a bit of Fall Guys, that's about it. I mean, I've got my all-day charity stream coming up in a few weeks, so I need to find some games to play. Yeah, it looked like a bit of a back spasm, says Alex for Salah there. Yeah, there was no contact on where he actually hurt his back. Time for a stretch. Half an hour in. Cross comes in. Picked up by Liverpool on the edge of the box with Curtis Jones. Obviously, a lot of Forest players back. Not had a really clear-cut chance yet, Liverpool. They had that little dinked ball to Carvalho, but when you think about how many chances Brighton had... what's your favourite FIFA, says Manmeat? Oh, they all merge into one for me. Will Red Dead Redemption ever return on Thursday nights, Mark, says Dio? It might. Maybe Casemiro scoring his first goal today, says Ronnie. I do really fancy United today. I'm not going to disrespect Chelsea. It's a hard place to go to the Bridge. But I don't think Chelsea have beaten United since 2017. So, yeah, I do fancy United tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Joe says, are you surprised it's still 0-0? Or who's surprised it's still 0-0? Not really. I think Liverpool have struggled to build any patterns of play. Obviously, Forest are playing with a back 9. Well, a back 10, really, if you count the keeper. They're playing with 1 up front. Obviously, just trying to grind out results like they did at Brighton. That's a good ball into Milner. And goes for a corner. Who do I think is going to win the Champions League? Liverpool, content and gaming. I think I went with Bayern Munich. It's always hard to predict the Champions League winner. Corner to Liverpool here. What we got? We've only got 9 minutes to go to half time. So Liverpool with another corner. They've had a few corners. I'm not doing the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Jamie, no, because I'll be live on United Stand at 4:30. Someone in the chat just said Forest looked very disjointed. Well, I'm stunned by what they did, really. And Fulham did this a couple of years ago. Just get promoted, buy a load of players. And then you end up disjointed. Corner comes in. Not a bad one. Headed away. Milner whips another cross in. Van Dijk, what is he doing? Must have been offside anyway. What is the best criticism you've got till now, says Manmeat? Oh, I don't know. I've had lots of criticism. I don't think I'd call it good. And he's onside, Van Dijk. What is he doing? What is it? He just head it in. Oh, it's one of those where he's headed it back across the goal. I don't know why he doesn't head it in. Mark, think Ronaldo will play with the under-21s to stay fit, says Tumbleweed. Don't know. Have you got your Sean Dyche voice back, says Mr. Cott. No, not yet. I'm still not great. I think I've had COVID because I've been feeling rough for about 2 weeks and I wake up most days absolutely exhausted. And I used to be like Gary Neville. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, running the marathon and, writing a book. But last couple of weeks, I've had no energy. That's called getting old. What, in the space of 2 weeks? Liverpool at the moment, though, struggling to break this Forest wall of red down. Very, very park the bus, but, you sort of understand it, don't you? They're bottom of the league. They'd love to just scrap out a result, I suppose. I do like the 12:30 kickoffs, but this one's been a bit boring. Are you doing TUSFC tomorrow, mate? No, I don't do it at the weekend, bruh. Up the Stags, says Michael Anderson. Is that Mansfield? I think Nigel Clough's in charge of them, isn't he? Yeah, Liverpool's problem here is, and you can understand it with how many changes they've had to make. No Nunez, no Jota, no Diaz, no Thiago. It's just very disjointed. Nothing will beat your 11 PM streams during the Euros, says Mason Reed. Was that Twitch? I forgot about them. Might bring them back for the World Cup. 11 p.m. on Twitch. Oh! Oh no, he said play on. Could have been a foul. Could have been a... What was like? You know, for a moment it looked like Kouyaté on Harvey... what's his name? Harvey Keitel. Harvey Elliott. It looked wild. It did look really wild. I think if Harvey Elliott stays down here... No, he doesn't. He misses him anyway. It looked wild. It wasn't actually that bad. It could have been. It could have been. Thoughts on Newcastle? I think it'll be an interesting game tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing a watch-along for it. Spurs-Newcastle. But because Spurs are certainly gettable. But I'll definitely do Southampton-Arsenal. When will Cooking with Goldbridge return? Says Ali. They're all on the list, mate. It's just not easy. Nice little combination plays here. Harvey Elliott. Should have crossed it first time with his right foot. They just can't. They can't create anything at the moment, Liverpool here. Forest definitely set up to counter and score, and at the moment you wouldn't say it was an impossibility. Fabinho drifts a ball wide to Robertson. Not a very good header though. Would you do a Palace career before the end of the game? I feel you would enjoy Palace or Brighton or Newcastle with their load of cash now. Interesting, Nathan. And Dan says, watch along for the West Ham game on Monday. Who are they playing, Dan? Who's playing on Monday? West Ham, Bournemouth? Probably not. If I'm being absolutely honest, it's a no. Man City are playing at 3 o'clock today against Brighton, and Everton are playing at 3 o'clock against Crystal Palace. Yeah, not doing 3 o'clocks either. What animal would the United Stand FC mascot be? A lion, a tiger, or a bear? Ooh. No, tiger's out. That's from Jack Hammer Awesome. Tiger's out. Lion's been done before. I don't know. Yeah, whatever says a honey badger. I thought you said a horny badger. What I was going to say, what does a horny badger look like? I dread to think. Liverpool score eventually, says Spencer. Well, you'd fancy them to score, but they've got to create a chance to do it. Lingard's fell off, hasn't he? Big time. What a prat. I mean, his bank balance will say up yours, but what a prat Lingard is. I mean, a lot of people think Lingard's a prat anyway. I can't say he's missed at United, but I mean, it does make you think sometimes, because I never really rated Lingard that much, and he leaves Man United and he's really not that much. You do wonder about your club and these players that you keep. I mean, look, Emerson Royale at Spurs. He's not like he's going to go to Villa and be their best player, is he? I think some big clubs do keep players that you think aren't that good, and then they end up not being that good. But I think Lingard's a prat. I really do. He should have gone to West Ham, exactly, Cato. I mean, he was a guy who I feel that in the summer, if he'd gone to West Ham, he might have had a chance of going to the World Cup. Absolutely no chance. No chance. Even Seb's laughing about it. As soon as I said that, did you hear that? I went, Lingard could have gone to the World Cup, and he starts laughing, involuntary. And he's only 5. So, yeah. Do polls, Mark, says DJ. Give me some. Okay, let's do. I know what the winner will be of this. Because I know my demograph. Mount or Bruno? Now, I put Mason Mount in my combined 11 ahead of Bruno for the simple reason that I think this season Mount's been better than Bruno. The overall player who's better, I think it's probably Bruno, but right here, right now, I would take Mount. Somebody said you could do some game polls. Yeah, we'll do that at half time. We'll go through the games and you can predict who's going to win. Good idea, because this is game week 1. This is game 1 of the game week, isn't it? So that's a good idea. Another cross into the box. Well, we're into the 45th minute now, and it's pretty dull. He's adding on a minute. It only takes a minute, girl. Or boy. To fall in love, as Gary Barlow once said. It is quite a dull game because it's defence against attack. And Liverpool's defence... I mean, I think Forest... I've got to say, if I want to be really harsh, why are Forest parking the bus at home to this Liverpool side? Like, it's not prime Liverpool. They are really... out of ideas. You've got to have a go in a game like this. They're just parking the bus. Like, you're never going to stay up doing that. Half time. I think they've got to have more of a go. I think they're giving Liverpool way too much respect. They've got to have more of a go. I think if you're playing prime Liverpool with, their best players, maybe you do sit in a bit, but they're playing very, very defensive. We'll go to those polls in a minute, but I just want to have a quick look at the stats because I've sort of been ignoring them on purpose. And I think it'd be quite interesting. Let's have a quick look here. So, stats so far, 74% possession for Liverpool. That's huge. It's embarrassing for Forest. But shots, 5-3. Counter-attack FC. Passes, 394 to 139. Pass accuracy, 87% to 71%. Forest obviously making more tackles. Shots on target. Forest have had more shots on target. I mean, if I'm Steve Cooper, or Jim Cooper, or whatever his bloody name is, I'm looking at that. If I'm his assistant, I'm saying, boss, look at these stats. I've got That's Football on with Goldbridge. He's just come out with another bit of brilliance. We really should employ him. But he's just said, why are we sitting deep? Why are we sitting deep and counter-attacking against a team that looks quite vulnerable? They ain't going to carve us open if we don't sit deep. We need more possession and we'll get more shots and we'll win this game. We've got 26% possession and we've had more shots on target. Get more possession. Stop parking the bus. Have a go. But whether they'll do that or not, I just don't know. Okay, let's go to the chat. So our first poll of the day was Mason Mount versus Bruno Fernandes. I'm quite surprised that Mason Mount's winning with 58%, Bruno on 42%. I did put Mason Mount in my combined 11 ahead of Bruno because I watch United every week and I've watched a lot of Chelsea this season and I think right now Mount's playing better. But Bruno was superb against Spurs on Wednesday, and the better talent is Bruno. The more consistent player is Mount, in my opinion, but I would have gone for Bruno as who would I rather have at my club. I was asked this question on a Chelsea podcast yesterday. Would I swap Bruno for Mount? No, I wouldn't. But Mount wins that poll, 57%. Right, I'm going to do a few more polls for you because we've got some games this afternoon, so we're just going to go through those just to add a little bit in, get your questions in as well. What do I want to do? Okay, so who's the first game? Everton against Palace is our first game. So let's start a poll. Results. Everton, draw, Palace. Get involved. Have your say. Rashford versus Sterling. We will do that, Diana. Thank you. I quite like the look of that one. Ali says Goldbridge won't do that. I will do that. The interesting thing about Rashford versus Sterling is that Rashford's not actually had a very good season over the last 3 games. He's missed a lot of chances and he's not. I don't really think he's a striker either. So are we talking about Rashford versus Sterling as a winger or as a forward? Anyway, would you try Alexander-Arnold in midfield as a test this game because we've got no creativity? Nathan, I think it's the perfect game to try it out, yes. And Daniel Lee, who's been a member for 3 months, says, do you think Chelsea are more vulnerable without a player like Rudiger? Not that back 3 or 5, says Daniel Lee. I think Rudiger for Koulibaly looked like a very, very good deal, and it's not like Chelsea could do anything about Rudiger wanting to leave. Do I think Rudiger was more suitable to the Premier League and more settled in the Premier League, yes, of course. But, that Chelsea defence is still good. Fofana, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. I think it will be an interesting game, certainly today. Ronaldo will play for United next week, says Jackson. And Koulibaly is a fridge, says Paul Stringer. And you didn't have Silva in your combined 11, says Ben. No, I didn't. And I didn't put Thiago Silva in my combined 11 because it's not about individuals, is it? When you're talking about centre-back pairings. What's the point in me playing Martinez and Thiago Silva, or Varane and Thiago Silva, when centre-back is the one enduring position where it's about your partnership? And for me, I'm not going to individualise the centre-backs. Martinez and Varane have been so good. I don't know why I'm doing that. Martinez and Varane have been so good this season because they've been a pair. So why would I just go, I think Varane's better than Martinez and I'll play him with Silva? I mean, it's the most logical area where you would go with the pair. And I did. I think Thiago Silva's fantastic, but I'm not going to break up Martinez and Varane, who I think are... Also, they're playing in a back two. They're not playing in a back three, which means I can have more attacking intent. So I'm more than happy with that, although I do like Thiago Silva. Okay, so 23% have gone with an Everton win, 25% have gone with a draw, and 53% have gone with Palace. Right, I'm going to do this poll because people have asked me to do it, so we're going to do it. Either or. And it's Sterling versus Rashford. Get your votes in. Newcastle defence or Man United's defence is no home. I think, look, I watch Man United every game, and the success of Manchester United at the moment is based upon our defence has been the platform. We beat Southampton and Leicester, and we didn't play particularly well. Oh, look at that picture there, Notts County. I like the Notts County ground, Meadow Lane. But yeah, we beat Southampton and Leicester on the back of the defence. We beat Arsenal on the back of a very good defence. We beat Liverpool on the back of a very good defence. I think Man United's defence is what's driving us forward at the moment. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're on the road to 800k and we have nearly hit 795,000. In fact, we're only 20 subscribers away from 795,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, it's free to do. You're very welcome on That's Football. It doesn't matter who you support on here. We will discuss everything. Raheem Sterling is battering Rashford here. He's got 64% of the vote. Again, I'm quite surprised. Obviously, I'm a United fan, and I expect that there are some people here who come over from the United stand. But it's quite refreshing, actually, that the channel is breathing in its own right and has fans from other clubs. Because I've got to say, I do agree with you. I would have gone with Sterling because I know Sterling's not a particularly popular player, but Marcus Rashford, for me, he's still got a long way to go to being a player that can be called one of the best forwards in the Premier League. He could have had an amazing week for United. He's missed so many chances, and I'm hoping he's going to score tonight. But interesting that people went with Sterling there. I would have thought they might have gone for that. For Rashford, I thought the poll should have been closer, says Ethan. And this place is filled with Liverpool fans. Sterling was from Liverpool, says Ravi. I don't necessarily think that's the case. There was another one I wanted to do. Sterling's crap, says Ace. And Dubs says, Mark, if you're from Nottingham, why do you not support them? Okay, so for all the fans in India, why don't you support Delhi or somewhere else in India? From all the fans in Ireland, why don't you support Cove Ramblers or St Pat's? From all the fans from Scotland who support Premier League clubs, why don't you support Hibernian or anything like that? I mean, mate, get. There's a word for people like you, and they're quite nasty words, to be honest. And I think it is quite nasty to say that in the modern world you have to support the place that you live. And let's not forget, I haven't lived in that place for 20-something years. And people say I'm from Nottingham. I grew up about a mile away from the border with Leicester. So, yeah, don't tell people how to walk when you don't walk those shoes. And none of my family supported Forest either. My dad's a Chelsea fan, and my mum's side of the family are United fans. So And there's a very good reason why I support Manchester United. And now it wasn't because we won things, because we didn't win things in the 80s when I was a kid. Mark, who wins tomorrow out of Wolves or Leicester? Says Alexander. Oh, God. What a shit game. Imagine having to watch that game. Michael says, is the chart show your personal ratings or is it combined ratings from the United stand for that week, says Michael. So it's my chart show. It's the Mark Goldbridge chart show. So I do take into account the player ratings because I wasn't sure whether Casemiro should have been number one again this week. So I do take into account the player ratings, but I have the final say on it, yeah. Mark, I'm a Birmingham fan. I love Jude. Do you see him as a future England captain one day? And also, how much do you think he'll go for in the summer, says Liam G. I think he will be a future England captain because I think there'll become a time in the next 5 years where most of that team becomes too old to play and he'll only be in his mid-20s. So he'll be the most senior pro. So I think he will be the captain, yeah. How much do I think he'll go for? 100 million north, yeah. Treble Champ says, reckon we'll see more evolution similar to the Spurs game or as we should expect a natural ebb and flow to the performance of United. Really excited about the game tonight. It's the big game of the weekend anyway. Chelsea against Manchester United. It's the game that a lot of people will be watching no matter whether they're a Chelsea fan or a United fan. But as a United fan, the way we played against Spurs was so good in the way that we suffocated them high up the pitch. Now, can you go to Stamford Bridge and do that against a team that's managed by Graham Potter? You can do it, but if they did do it, that would be stunning. If we went to Stamford Bridge and played like we did against Spurs, that would be the sort of thing Man City do. I don't think United are ready to do that. I don't think we're ready to go to Stamford Bridge and dominate them high up the pitch. I'd love it, but I don't think we're ready for that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see. I don't think we will do that. And I think the big choice is whether if he plays Fred, he's going to try and do it. If he plays Eriksen, I think we're going to play more controlled. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win, Chelsea or Man United, says Flays? I'm going to go Man United because I think our defence is very good. Casemiro's been very good at protecting that defence. I don't think we'll concede, and therefore I think we'll score. So I'm going to go with a Man United win. I think Trent at right midfield would be good, says Max. I'd throw Trent Alexander-Arnold into your midfield. Fabinho, Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott just looks very bang average to me. I don't know why Jordan Henderson's not starting games. Is he not able to play twice a week anymore? Thiago's obviously got an ear infection. I've never massively been impressed with Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott, and you're playing both of them. Maybe they will become good players. It's all about development. I get that. But, I mean, look, yeah. I think you need more creativity in this second half. Varane versus Silva. I'm going to pick Varane, says Lars. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to start a poll. Either or. Either or. I like doing these either ors. Varane or Silva. Get your votes in. I nearly told you what I would do. Not going to do that. Thoughts on Kepa's newfound form? Fred's shots from 100 yards out. He's going to be able to stop with his pinky toe, says Matthew Wilson. I mean, look, I would always go Mendy over Kepa. Talking about little, polls, I would always go Mendy over Kepa. But, I mean, some of the saves he made against Aston Villa were stunning. And I'm a firm believer that if you come into the team and you play well, then you've got every right to keep that place. I'm also a firm believer that, I think where Ten Hag went wrong is he stuck with McTominay because he was playing well and benched Casemiro. I don't agree with that. I think the gap in quality between McTominay and Casemiro is so much that it doesn't matter how well McTominay's playing, he should have been took out of the team sooner. But I think with Kepa and Mendy, you've got one goalkeeper that's had a bad start to the season, Mendy, and you've got one keeper that's come in and done really, really well. So I think, and it's different with goalkeepers, isn't it? Of course it is. Gabriel, new deal at Arsenal. What are your thoughts as winners? I'm absolutely stunned by that. Great question for a channel that's about, all football. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I think that Gabriel and Saliba have been really fantastic for Arsenal this season. I was surprised to see some Arsenal fans not happy about Gabriel getting a new contract. And I sort of did a bit of research myself and I spoke to a couple of Arsenal fans. And they were saying that some Arsenal fans just don't think he's that good and he's always got a mistake in him. And I was like, but you're Arsenal. You've not been in the Champions League for years. You're now in a title race and you're wanting to change a centre-back that's been decent for you. Of course, you might be able to get a better centre-back, but you're not That's not where I think you should be spending your money. You need another striker. You need another midfielder. I think Gabriel, who's already at the club, getting a new deal is a good idea. And it doesn't stop you buying another centre-back. I mean, if I was Arsenal, even if you don't think Gabriel's that good, I still think he's a very good option as a third-choice centre-back and at the moment, first-choice centre-back. So I don't really get what Arsenal fans are thinking about. Where's your money to get rid of Gabriel and go and buy a new centre-back? I think it's a very, very intelligent deal. And, I can't see what the issue is. I really can't. Varane beat Silva 63%. Well done. I mean, I would agree with you on that. I think Thiago Silva's fantastic, but Varane this year is like Varane of Real Madrid. Difficult first year at United, riddled with injury, but he's been good this year. Have you watched Welcome to Wrexham? Says Matthew Wilson. I can't bring myself to watch it. They're just a Welsh Man City. I can't take joy in the Wrexham story. Oh shit, here's a shitload of money, more than everyone else has got. What a great story. The amount of people who keep saying to me, welcome to Wrexham makes you want to buy a Wrexham shirt. I feel like going mug. Absolute mug. So, let's all support Wrexham because they've got shitloads of money more than everybody else. I mean, I don't think it's a fairy tale story. I think it's a nice story if you're a Wrexham fan, but they're just a non-league Man City. Smalling for the World Cup, never going to happen. Southgate wouldn't pick him. Anyway, we're up and running for the second half here. I think Forest need to be more on the front foot. I don't see the point in parking the bus against the Liverpool side like this. But let me just start the stats carousel. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. You're all very welcome. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Southampton against Arsenal at 2 o'clock on this channel. And obviously I'm doing Manchester United's trip to Chelsea on the United stand at 5:30. And I'm on TalkSport at 8 o'clock for the call-in. If Martinez, would you take him at United, says Matt Rowlands. I feel he'd be a tremendous fit for us, strength, pace and skill like Martial. Lautaro Martinez. Well, Man United need a striker, and I wouldn't turn my nose up at Lautaro Martinez, no. Firmino, rubbish ball. Absolutely rubbish ball, that is. And Forest will clear it. United says Chelsea are going to get beat 100%. We'll see. Liverpool starting off a bit quicker second half. Nice ball into Carvalho, and Forest will clear it. The trouble Liverpool have got here is that look at every attack. There seems to be about 9 Forest players back. Which player does Man United have to sign to win the title, says Jaden? Player? You need to talk about players. Right, here's Forest with a chance down the left-hand side. Another 3v3. And a shot from distance, which was a bit odd. Mark, you should do Anthony versus Saka. I will do it, James, but I expect to know who will win that comfortably. And I would vote for them as well. James, in any other series, Wrexham would be the villains who are only doing well because they have money. They're not the scrappy underlings, it says Dance. And let's do that poll for you then. Either or. So what was it? Saka, Anthony. Get your votes in. So a couple of minutes gone of the second half here. Good play by Gibbs White. And Joe Gomez is going to cover that off and get it back to Alisson. And he's hurt his leg. Oh no, he's all right. Caught him a bit late. Singing in the classes. Music for the masses. Thanks to everyone who subscribed, by the way. We've hit 795,000. Thank you very much for that. Get involved with United, with That's Football and United Stand. United Stand's on later, but make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Liverpool will feel that they have to win this game. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But to do that, they're going to have to create more chances. That has been the problem. They're struggling to break down this, what is in effect a park the bus tactic from Forest. And at the moment, I would say that Forest's tactic is to defend and try and hit somebody on the break. It's very Spursy, isn't it? It's a very Spurs approach. The trouble is they're almost in relegation zone already, aren't they? Where they're going into every game just trying to grind out a point like they did against Brighton the other day. I think they need to be more expansive, and you wonder when that's going to happen. But then again, they're at Arsenal next weekend. I mean, I think maybe it's good preparation for that. Maybe they just say against Liverpool and Arsenal, if we can get a point out of one of those games by parking the bus, we'll take it. Mark, did you rate Roy Carroll at United? Says Joel. Not really. Likeable guy, but I mean, I think he was pretty basic goalkeeper, wasn't he? Really. I mean, I'm not saying he was bad, but a bit of a run-of-the-mill Premier League goalkeeper. Certainly not. We're not talking one of the Premier League greats that we've had at United. He's nowhere near a Van der Sar or a... I'd put him in a sort of Bosnich sort of place, what was his name? Tim Howard. That sort of level. What was the one who began with K? I can't even picture him. What was his name? Blonde hair, goalkeeper, K. Went to West Brom. Oh, I can't think of it now. Kuszczak, that was it, yeah. Thomas Kuszczak, wasn't it? Nunez has got a bit of a muscle problem, Rick. Special K. It's a bit of a divisive cereal, that, isn't it? Special K. We've done cereals before, though. Thomas Kuszczak, that was it. I'm starving. I've got to have an early tea tonight because I've got to do United stand from 4:30 until 8 o'clock, and then I'm on TalkSport till 9 o'clock. So I've basically got to have my big meal after this at about 3:30. I'm thinking pie and chips with gravy. Might have a glass of red. Get in the mood. Get in the mood for the match. So Liverpool with the chance to whip across in here. I'll tell you what I've got to show you. Cross comes in. Oh, Salah had so much time. Too much time. I wouldn't say it was an easy chance for Salah, but it fell to him in the box. He could have almost taken a touch. He's definitely onside. The cross is good. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing there. It's one of those where you're trying to do lots of different things, and you end up doing nothing. And it remains 0-0. Mark, Arsenal have a better defensive record than United this season, which means Saliba and Gabriel is a better partnership than Varane and Martinez. Put that in your pipe, Mr. Goldbridge, and smoke it. Zane, you were Arteta out. Put that in your pipe and smoke it hard. And it doesn't make them better than Varane and Martinez at all. The only game that makes Saliba and Gabriel better is that Man City game. But I think if you're doing it on minutes played together, we only conceded 2 goals in that Man City game with Varane and Martinez. They didn't play against Brighton and they didn't play against Brentford. So I would imagine it's a little bit closer than you actually think it is. Loddy's on the bench, Jack. I think Forest's approach to this game is criminal. It really is. You need to get relegated playing like this. I mean, this is a depleted Liverpool side, and they're parking the bus at home. I mean, fucking hell. If you want to stay up, you've got to be a bit more expansive. It's only the middle of October. Joe Gomez is going to get a yellow card here. Lingard saying he tried to pull down the last man. Van Dijk was there as cover though. Gets stuck on the ball. Nathan was on about this. Gomez gets stuck on the ball. He's in big trouble and basically pulls back the striker. But Van Dijk would have been there to cover. So it's a very, very obvious yellow card. He's not the last man there, Dennis. I don't think so. Not in my opinion. Oh, and they've scored! The jinx of Goldbridge works again. At least I didn't tweet it. It's 1-0 to Forest, and their plan has worked. It's 1-0. Absolutely typical. I call them absolutely boring and negative, and it's 1-0 to Forest. And it comes ridiculous, isn't it? That foul by Joe Gomez on the halfway line leads to the goal. It's a long ball right on the right-hand side. It's just poor defensive from Liverpool. I mean, a long ball out wide. The cross comes into a packed penalty box. The striker shoots, he hits the post, then he follows up his own shot. And now I tell you what, Liverpool have got a massive, massive job on their hands now because they really haven't created very much. And they're 1-0 down. Interesting. Interesting. A lot of people will have captained Mo Salah today. It's one of them days, isn't it? It's one of those 12:30 kickoffs where you think, you look at the Brighton game, Forest were very lucky to get a 0-0. Brighton had loads of shots. And then you look at this game and you go, well, Liverpool after 55 minutes have created very little. And, Forest have actually had more shots on target with about 25% possession. It's a part of the bus. It's a smash and grab. It's counter-attacking. But realistically, Liverpool just can't. They just can't find a way through at the moment. Triple decker would be lovely, Ger. I'd love it. I'd love it. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're all very, very welcome. We've still got 35 minutes left here, but I did say it in the first half. If you can score first in this game, you've got a massive chance of winning it. Because if Liverpool scored first, Forest would have to open up and stop parking the bus. And therefore, you'd fancy Liverpool to score more. But if Forest score first, they'll park the bus even more. And it will be difficult for Liverpool. Nice ball into the box for Harvey Elliott. It goes for the front post shot. But you won't get a front post glitch in real life. Comfortable save for the keeper. I don't know why he's gone front post there. He thinks he's playing FIFA. Corner to Liverpool. Be a good result for Man United and Arsenal and Spurs and Chelsea if Liverpool drop points again, Robertson with the cross. Liverpool, Forest clear it. Well, Klopp's going to have to make a change here, but as we know, his bench has not got a lot of attacking options. And there's another, it's a terrible ball. Well, it's not a bad ball, actually, because Joe Gomez has not got a fucking clue how to defend. It could be 2. Great block by Milner. What's Joe Gomez on? That was a crap pass by Lingard. This pass by Lingard's crap, and Joe Gomez is looking away. Oh, he's useless. Nathan, you are right. He is absolutely shit, Joe Gomez. He could have intercepted that pass and he's looking away. I thought he was very good against Man City. I said, Joe Gomez should be going for the England. But no. Saka's beaten Anthony, by the way. Toby says, are you serious right now, bro? Mark, I think United have had the toughest fixtures so far out of the top 6 and keep improving. If they beat Chelsea, I think they'll finish 2nd or 3rd, says Viper. Corner for Forest. Alisson punches it away. And why is the referee not playing on? That was comical by Joe Gomez, though. Like, it's a terrible pass by Lingard, and you think Gomez is going to get it, and then the Forest striker gets it, and you go, why? And then you watch it back, because Joe Gomez is not looking at the ball, he's looking at his centre-back. Score prediction, Tottenham-Newcastle, says Music. I mean, God, the way Spurs are playing at the moment, 1-1, if we're lucky. I think Southampton-Arsenal will be a good game. I'm looking forward to that. I think Arsenal will win it, but I do think it will be a good game. Jurgen Plops in the mud again, says Paul H. Double substitution here. Looks like Trent and Henderson coming on. Yeah, they've got to do it. I'd take off both those midfielders, Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones, but I think he'll probably take Milner off, won't he? Anyway, it's a corner for Liverpool. Robertson with it. Forest looking to break away again. And they nearly do. Oh, there's a ball on there. Why didn't Harvey Elliott play that pass first time? Some of their pass decisions are terrible. What are we thinking, Liverpool fans? What do you think about Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott? I mean, I know they're younger players, developmental players, but for me, they're players that Forest are just loving playing against at the moment. They're just not of the level required. Ronaldo Instagram story. We go to Instagram. While you're there, give me a follow. I believe I'm on there. At Goldbridge Mark. Viva Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Here we go. He's put up a story 2 days ago. Oh no. Let's go Man United. He's put up a picture. Trying to win us back. You never lost some of us, Cristiano. It was unacceptable what you did on Thursday, but you didn't lose some of us. They don't need to win us back. So double substitution here. Milner comes off. Surprise, surprise for Trent. If you were doing a FIFA career mode in the early 2000s, what players would you go for? I'd instantly go for Kewell, Viduka, Keane and Gerrard. I'd love to do a FIFA career mode like that. I've never understood how people do these FIFA career modes where they basically they relive a career. Like they relive a career of someone like, you know, Zlatan or something. Because you can't do that. You can't go back, can you? I think you can do it on PC maybe. You do it with mods, whatever mods are. Mods on PC, yeah. Gomez is tall, strong and fast. That's about it, says Seth. Yeah, they need to bring that to console, don't they? I think it's great that Football Manager is going to be on PS5. I know it's out as a beta mode at the moment, but I'm not playing it until November the 8th. Scuba Diver says he loves men. He might mean the Manchester Evening News. Either way, well done. Liverpool corner. What's your skin routine, Mark says Foxy. Basically water. That's what I drink a lot of. Why don't Forest have a sponsor, says Colbster. I don't know. Liverpool have huge issues breaking the defence down, says Jerry. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Mitten says it's a huge shout saying Man United won't concede. Well, I've got no control on whether they concede. You know, there might be a dodgy penalty, a deflection, but, you know, in general, I think that defence is very good at the moment. So I believe we can keep a clean sheet, yeah. A few substitutes going on here. Hope Liverpool lose. I love seeing Klopp rage, says Seasider. Well, they're in the box here, Liverpool. Firmino cuts it back. Oh, you know what? I really thought there was going to be a white Liverpool shirt on the end of that, and there wasn't. They're going to push now, though. They're going to push. I think Forest need to have something of an outlet here. I'm not sure 1-0 will be enough. Astro says that Klopp will say that the ground is a bit wet. I think the shadow on the pitch will be an excuse. Still 25 minutes to go. Seems to be playing Salah quite centrally now for his pace. Trying to get him in behind the centre-backs. There's Robertson. As a United fan, for once I hope Liverpool win because at the minute they're costing me 400 quid, says Twerfy. Yeah, it will be a bet breaker, won't it, for a lot of people this. You know, there'll be a lot of people on Fantasy Premier League, or if they've had their football bet, who will be voting Liverpool. There'll be a lot of people who are saying +3 goals as well. Henderson gets the ball out wide. Trent will like to put this in. He puts it in with his left. Not particularly good, but it still ends up with a corner for Liverpool. I think from a United point of view, it's always great when Liverpool are losing, of course, but it's also great from the point of view that the race for top 4 becomes easier the more teams who aren't in that race. And Mashal says, what's your top 4 predictions? I mean, for me, I still think Liverpool will get top 4. Obviously, I think Arsenal, Man City have got 2 of those spots. And then it's Spurs, Liverpool, Man United and Chelsea for the other 2. Chelsea, says Abdallah. So I think Henderson will play again for Man United. I'd hope not. I don't really see the point in going down that route again. What's the point? I don't see the point in bringing Dean Henderson back to Man United to compete with David De Gea again. I mean, David De Gea has done really well for United this season. Why go back down that road? I'd rather we bought a new keeper, really. To the Forest sponsor, they've had a few offers, but no green lighters yet. Do the United Stand hoodies fit, or are they oversized? Says Tumbleweed. So this is a medium. And it's a good fit for me. Large, I'm always stuck between medium and large. I am, but I sometimes find large a little bit. I like a tighter fit, so I would say that they are standard. If you're a large will fit you. If you're an extra large, it will fit you. Check it out, United Stand Shopify, if you want to get one, by the way. And you can pre-order our Christmas jumpers, which are available for pre-order and are going very, very fast. So if you want to get one of those, order quick. Salah on the edge of the box, it bounces around. And Forest come away with it again. And they're in again. Down the left-hand side. The cross, the shot, the save by Alisson. And Trent brings it away. That is now working really, really well for Forest now. Defend and counter. They've got the lead. They've got something to hold on to. Defend and counter. Prediction for United game later, says Jack. I'm going 2-0 United. Here's Harvey Elliott down the right-hand side, but he's not got a right foot. He's left-footed. Who do you think will win the Champions League? I think Madrid, says Mohammed. I've gone with Bayern. That's my bet. I have seen Ronaldo's Instagram story. It basically says, come on, Man United. Worst kit this season. Forest looks like pyjamas, says Matthew Wilson. Well, Alisson's been the busier keeper, you know. For all that possession, Alisson has been the busier keeper. Is this the same team that beat City, says Jackson? Well, no, it isn't actually, is it? It's Liverpool, but that's a good point. They've had to... Who have they lost from the game last week? Thiago, Diaz and Jota. It's quite a big 3 to lose when it comes to creativity, isn't it? Liverpool just don't have any creativity. Got some good players out there, but they've got no good attacking players. Nunez as well. So you can see why they're struggling. They can't create anything at the moment. They're basically playing against a back 10. There's no Forest player forward. Why did they let Mane go, says Khan? Because he wanted to go. Was he out of contract, Mane, or did he have 1 year left? I think Liverpool did the right thing with Mane, to be honest with you. He wanted to go. If you keep a player that's unhappy, he'd had a very good career at the club. He only had 1 year left, so what are they supposed to do? Leslie says regretting selling Mane, but you'd have been keeping a player at the club who doesn't want to be there, and he's going to then leave for free. I think they had to. Do that. All right, Seb.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good.
Busy?
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing for me is that they just haven't created anything of note so far. Liverpool. And there's less than 20 minutes to go. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're on the road to 800k. We're on 795,500. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe as Forest make another sub here. And just to let you know, our next watch-alongs on this channel tomorrow afternoon, Arsenal's trip to Southampton. Might do Spurs against Newcastle. We'll see how it goes. But I am doing, obviously, on the United stand at 4:30. I'll be live today for the build-up for Chelsea against Manchester United. And I'm on national radio at 8 o'clock tonight for the Mark Goldbridge show on TalkSport. So call in and get involved. It will be live on YouTube as well for that. Why doesn't he put Oxlade-Chamberlain on? Says Aman. Klopp is losing the plot. Next Villa manager, says Will. I don't know what the odds are, mate, but I'd be moving everything to try and get Pochettino. I think that'd be a great deal. Shush says, why have you stopped doing the F1 streams? Just because it started clashing with football, really, and I actually do like just sitting and watching Formula 1. Eight o'clock tomorrow night, isn't it? 8 o'clock tomorrow night. When's the when are they qualifying? 5 till 6 tonight. Oh. Just when United are on. Lovely play by Liverpool down the right-hand side. Trent's cross is decent, but I think at the moment Forest defence looks very comfortable. Qualifying is at 11 p.m. tonight. Okay. It's very late. I'll probably watch that. I've been watching that Spotify thing on Netflix. Quite good. It's got subtitles, but I quite enjoy it. If has anyone watched that on Netflix, the Spotify story? I was going to watch The Watcher, but oh god, everyone just keeps telling me don't watch The Watcher because the end is shit. $15 minutes to go. I think we're getting to the point now where Liverpool will do well to get a point. I think the win might be out of Liverpool's hands now. Is it 11 p.m. UK time? Or UK? What time is it UK time? Free kick for Liverpool here. A chance to whip across into the box. 15 minutes to go. Then I'm going to put my pie in the oven, which is not an analogy. And literally, I'm going to put a pie in the oven. It's 11 p.m. UK time. Thank you. Trent's cross was interesting there. Liverpool are trying to chuck their bodies in the way, but Forest will bring it out. They've got to look for that break, and they've done it quite well. And there's a nice switch on here, but Henderson picks it up. Henderson's England's number one, says Brian Clough. Henderson's not even going to the World Cup, mate. I was thinking about that this morning. He's not even going to the World Cup unless there's an injury, is he? Let's be completely honest. Oxlade-Chamberlain's coming on for Firmino. I'm very surprised, and I don't know what Liverpool fans think. I'm not a Liverpool fan, obviously. I'm stunned that he's taken Firmino off when you need a goal, and he's kept on Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. Amazing. Amazing. Going to watch qualifying tonight, Mark, says Tumbleweed. If it's on that late, yeah, probably will. I mean, Firmino's been so prolific for Liverpool this season. When you need a goal, why would you take off your most prolific clinical striker? DJ Starboy says, try to explain to me how Liverpool are losing this but beat Man City. I think I'd love to say it's just the magic of the Premier League, but actually I think it's the fact that Liverpool have just got so many people out injured again. They've got no creativity on the bench at all. You could argue they've got no creativity in the team. I mean, this lad they've brought from Fulham, Carvalho, he looks okay, but he's not ready yet. You've got Diaz, Jota, and Nunez out, Thiago out as well. They just don't have creativity. I mean, and they are also missing Matip and Kanate. So, yeah, I think the injuries are adding up for Liverpool, and I think, to be fair, as boring as it's been, the way that Cooper has set Forest up to basically play with a back 11 and park the bus and then hit on the break, it's worked perfectly well for them, hasn't it? Liverpool just cannot break this red wall down, and Forest have scored the goal on the counter. I mean, really, it could easily still be 0-0, couldn't it? But I certainly don't think Liverpool justify winning this game. They've just not been able to create anything. For me, this was always, up until this point, it was always going to be a 0-0 or a 1-0 Forest win, because Liverpool have created next to nothing. Just I think their best chance was probably that header that Van Dijk, for some reason, decided to head back across the goal when he was 6 yards out. Yeah, Klopp's not going to get the sack, Ben. Which is what you said. No, I don't watch the UFC, Mark. Warren, no. I probably would enjoy it. I used to watch bits of it, but there's other things I'd rather do. Fair play to those people who enjoy it, though. "10 minutes to go here. Shock result, definitely. Scooby-Doo, how are you?" Another substitute. Obviously, you get a lot more subs now, don't you? Because these players, you can make 5. So there's a lot more stop-starts. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, we're going to do Southampton against Arsenal tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Probably do a quick reaction to this, match reaction, if Liverpool do lose. But that's a nice ball into the box by Jordan Henderson, and it's a good tackle at the back by Rio, who wins the free kick. And Liverpool's frustrations are starting to bubble up here. Why is Firmino off, says Aaron Wicks. Exactly. There are still Liverpool fans thinking they're going to win. I mean, you can score 2 quick goals, of course you can, but to score quick goals, you've got to create chances, and I don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't see those chances coming. Is Harry Maguire still captain of Manchester United? I believe he's still club captain. It's a bit of a weird one because I think club captain is what you do with people like Gary Neville, isn't it? Or Azpilicueta at Chelsea, where you've actually done things in the shirts and maybe don't play as much anymore, so you're the club captain. I think the Harry Maguire club captain thing is a bit odd because he's not really ever done anything in a United shirt, has he? So, look, is the club captain? Is it really a conversation of topic? For me, it doesn't really cause huge issues. There's another player. Excuse me, quiet it down, please. There's a bit of an injury break here. Van Dijk's apparently hurt himself. Of course, you know what? Just taking it away from this game for a moment as well. We know we've got a World Cup coming up. I've got something to show you, actually. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Let me show you. That's the Belgium top. Quite nice, isn't it? Adidas. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But we are into that area now, aren't we? Just got me thinking about the World Cup. Gift bridge. Keep an eye out for that. It's not for me. That won't even fit me. That's an extra large. It's not for me. It's for something else that we're doing next week. But we are in that area now with the World Cup where if somebody gets an injury, you're going to miss the World Cup. The World Cup starts in a month. England's kit's horrible. The red one's okay. The white one, God. You're going to get Lukaku on the back? No, because I think if you put Lukaku on the back, you'll probably end up with something saying Kaku because they'll miss the first few letters. Bit like him. That wasn't that good, was it, really? Could just put a trampoline on the back. People will know who I mean. Right. Anyway, 5 minutes to go here. Liverpool have created nothing in this game. And they have now. Good save by Dean Henderson. Trent should have scored, really. No conviction in the header. Straight at the keeper. Cross came in from Robertson. He's got to do better there. Trent's guided this towards the goal, and really, he's got to go far corner. Straight at the keeper. Not a good header, that. Not a good header, that. 5 minutes to go. IQ Insane says Klopp could complain about Forest Park in the bush, yet he did the same versus City at home and got a result. Yeah, you can't. You can't really complain about this result today, Liverpool, unless you're going to moan about the injuries. Oh my God, what a chance for Forest that is, and it's a massive save by Alisson. I actually think Alisson's been man of the match for Liverpool. Big saves. He's made some big saves. Corner to Forest. They want to keep it up that end. Shock result, this. Real shock result. I would never have predicted this. I don't think anybody would. I think Liverpool's injuries made it more doable. But I tell you what, you talk about Forest getting relegated, the confidence they'll take from a game like this. Massive 3 points that not many other teams are going to be getting. Rock Hard says, I thought it would be 7-0 to Liverpool. Oh, the amount of people who put Salah in their fantasy football team. I haven't even looked at my fantasy football team. I've got to be honest. I've not been able to log in all week. Can't be arsed. I've sort of lost my interest. Could be the start of a reboot for Forest, though. I mean, realistically, I don't think you can play like this week in, week out. It's still very defensive. But they might fancy themselves staying up, certainly. It's a sort of put high marks, says Alvin Blocks, high pal. It's a sort of result that you can pick up and, can get, three big points against a team where you wouldn't expect it. What's your favourite pasta dish? I like a good rich spaghetti bolognese sauce in the shell pasta. I love that because the sauce collects in the shell. But my favourite pasta dish technically is a lasagna. No, I can't argue. I can't argue with this result. Don't think anybody can. It's thoroughly deserved for Forest. I think the man of the match on the pitch is Alisson. I think he's made the bigger saves. I mean, Henderson's made a couple of saves, but they've basically been straight at him, whereas Alisson's had to make some really big one-on-one saves, which really is a big indicator of who deserves to win. Liverpool have had a lot of possession, as you can see. It's well over 70%. I think it's 75%, but you can't do anything about it. Dean is a decent keeper, but too full of himself. I don't really think Henderson's done anything wrong today. I don't really think he's made as big a save as Alisson has. He's made some saves, but they've basically been straight at him. But I mean, that's been the problem for Liverpool. They've created nothing. I think the only big chance Liverpool had was that ball over the top to Carvalho in the first half. Is Arsenal winning the league, says Hazik? I don't know. What pie are you having? I don't know. Hopefully it's... I like chicken and mushroom. I think the wife knows chicken and mushroom, or maybe it would like steak. I don't like steak and kidney. I don't like kidneys. Unless they're in my back. Oh, I'd love a cup of tea. No, going in, isn't it? It's nearly finished. We're just about to hit the 90th minute here. Forest have got a free kick where I think Trent will whip this in. It's not really shootable. He does whip it in. And, Van Dijk. Trent can't believe it. He's put the cross in and Van Dijk has put it wide. I mean, it wasn't easy. It's not an easy chance for Van Dijk, this. No, he's tried to cross it again. I mean, maybe Van Dijk, when he gets in these positions, should shoot. That's the second time. He's tried to cross it again. What's Van Dijk's problem? He gets in these positions where he should shoot, and he tries to bloody cross it. Big chance, that, actually. Daniel says the ref's giving everything to Liverpool. I think the ref's been okay, really. I've not really noticed any big decisions he's got wrong, which is quite refreshing for the Premier League. Why do you think Man City lost to this Liverpool side? I think it's because of one thing. Live VAR pool, says Cool Guy. No, Liverpool had the best. I mean, to be honest, there's not really similarities, but you know, Man City had a bit more possession than Liverpool, didn't they? But Liverpool created the better chances against Man City. They deserved to win that game. They had some really big chances in the second half, and it's weird because in this game it's the same thing again. Got to be steak and ale for me, says Tumbleweed. I'm getting hungry now. Get some grub in for the match. Don't forget to join me on the United Stand tonight. I'll be live from 4:30. Chelsea against Manchester United. It's going to be a cracker. I'm looking forward to it anyway. Ten Hag against Potter, but obviously being my team. Cross comes in, free header, good save, and cleared. That's a big save by Dean Henderson, that is. That is a big save by Dean Henderson. You've got to say that. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a good save. I mean, Van Dijk should score. But it's still a good save. Three minutes to go. United says Henderson's in my fantasy Premier League. Recall him now, says Jack. Fucking idiot. De Gea's clear by a long, long way. A long, long way. It's always good when a Man United loanee stops a Liverpool game, isn't it? Where are the Henderson haters? Well, I don't hate anyone. I just don't want him at Man United, so I'm still sat here. Two minutes to go. Trent slips and slips again. Liverpool are not even in the right half here at the moment. Plenty of Forest players back. Next game for Forest. Arsenal. Hope you're well, Mark. Love seeing Liverpool get muddered, says Ike. Yeah, I'm going to do a match reaction after this. Mark, where's your influencer boxing debut? Yeah, that's never going to happen. I'm not allowed. Banned. Trent with the cross. Headed away. Might be a corner here for Liverpool. No, it's a throw-in. Salah keeps it going. 50 seconds. Alpha Gaming, thanks. Don't forget, tonight, 4:30, I'll be live on the United Stand. Manchester United are going to beat Chelsea. Tune in for it. And I'm on TalkSport at 8 o'clock for the call-in. Another corner here for Liverpool. Gio says that Forest are a horrible team to watch. They are, but like, it's been effective. You can't say they don't deserve to win the game. I mean, Liverpool have created absolutely nothing. And I don't think you can argue about that. Referee should be blowing up here. Go for the corner, lad. Is it the post? Alisson's not even in goal. And he blows the whistle. And it's a 1-0 win for Forest against Liverpool. What a shock. What a shock. What a win. Totally deserved. Liverpool have been beaten. Probably the biggest result of the season, I think. I think that's probably the biggest result of the season. Absolutely massive result. 1-0. And Henderson's gone into the crowd. And, well, look, they totally deserve to win it. Keefe says, I said Forest would win. Embarrassing for Liverpool, says Munia. They're fighting relegation. What do you want to do? Says Suhir. And does it beat Brentford's smashing of Man United? I think it definitely does. This is definitely a bigger result than that. I'm going to tweet that. Yeah, I mean, look, Liverpool, yeah, you can put it down to injuries. Of course, you can put it down to injuries, but Liverpool's top four hopes, they're not over, but they don't look great. They do not look great. They're in 7th place with 16 points, and everyone else has got to play today. If United could win, we could go 6 points ahead of them, which is a nice gap to have. But massive result, absolutely massive result for Forest, and a massively bad result for Liverpool. So anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to go and get myself something to eat. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I'll do a quick match reaction as well for you now. I'm live on the United Stand at 4:30. Massive game, Manchester United against Chelsea. Really looking forward to that one. And we're back on here tomorrow for Southampton Arsenal at 2 o'clock. So thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for all your company. And although it was quite a boring game, we ended up with a massive result, didn't we? Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll speak to you in a couple of hours on United Stand. Thanks for watching.